How's the Wi-Fi connection?
Huh? Do we have any followers yet?
No.
Set
Everyone's
up
on lunch
here.
break right now.
Everybody's on lunch break.
I'm going to go watch it live myself.
I think I see something.
Oh, we got some followers. Okay, good. They're joining.
Great.
All right.
Join the gang.
So while we get ready for everybody to join our first Roundtable live, this year's been great. We've been having a lot of fun. We're doing this, by the way, from Chino, California, our headquarters here, directed by Monica Hammond. She's making this whole apparatus happen for us, so that's cool. So yeah, we're excited to talk about 2023, right? It's been an awesome year for the Yoshimura cycling brand. Like, I think on the exhaust side, it's been great, but also like on the cycling side, there's been so many really cool things happening, and that's really what we're excited to talk to you guys about today. And also field some of your questions. So if you guys, Monica is monitoring the questions popping up. So if you guys have questions that you have for us, like, I don't know, maybe you want to ask about the pedal, when we might have a clip pedal, those type of things, we're here to answer those questions. So we'll be doing this for about 25 minutes or so. Unless the questions get really gnarly, then we're just going to shut everything off. Just kidding.
I'm out of here.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll start. Coney, we have a little bit of an agenda just to kind of hit you guys with our perspectives from this year, and I guess maybe the highlights of 2023. Maybe talk about some of the new products that we brought out. Collin, by the way, I'll introduce everybody.
Yeah.
Collin is basically our cycling manager. He's the one dedicated employee we have here out of 100 at Yoshimura to just do cycling. So he answers your calls, answers your texts, comes and mows your lawn, all that stuff.
Yep. Builds your pedals.
And builds your pedals, rebuilds everything. He does it all.
And writing.
And then he does the writing too.
Oh yeah, a little bit of everything.
And then Yusaku Yoshimura, he's our president and CEO, and he's also an engineer kind of in the background. So he's the one responsible for all the cool looking stuff and cracking the whip on the guys out there. Hurry up, make this stuff. Mm-hmm. And I do the marketing side of it, and I have a bicycle background as well, back in the 80s and 90s. So that's been fun to return to roots. But maybe Collin, talk a little bit about or some of the stuff that we've done this year, some of the new stuff.
Oh, it's rad. It's rad. So it's really taken off fast and continues to pick up from events to products to just like ideas, like us sitting like this around in the office, just like, hey, what should we do next? And what Biggie always says is like, just because we can do it doesn't mean we should. So starting small, and it's cool to see like how the foundation's really been set in like the cycling part of Yoshimura. But I mean, new products this year. We started doing colored stems like a month and a half ago. I just thought it'd be a great addition, you know, because a lot of people are after color, especially after going to Grands a few times. You see how many people are all about the color. And then along with that, we got up in touch with Better Bolts and just kind of did like a collab on it. It's real cool. The Thomas and those guys over there at Freedom Coast are radical. And in addition to doing the stem caps, something small, but it's just, you know, like there's always a way to make it better, as Yusaku says. So whether that's like a nice stainless bolt or just like well machined stuff or good packaging, like the name's there, the product's good. So along with those colored stem caps, we did like the end plugs for the pedals as well. So as you can see, we're venturing off in the color spectrum a little bit, but at the same time, from the cycling side, there's a lot to manage as far as like part numbers and demand, etc. So, and then of course new merch. We're doing black pedals now, small and large. We added some pin colors, being orange, green, and silver, of course. So now 8 pin color options. So you can really mix and match a lot. It's not going to be the whole rainbow, but there's something out there. So yeah, it's cool. I mean, in the retrospect, it's like not a ton of stuff like, oh, they're making this, they're making that. It's we're perfecting what we have now and slowly venturing off. So
yeah, I like Yusaku. He always he's, you know, and I tell everybody this when we go to events, like, we don't want to make Me Too stuff, like, just because, like you said, just because we have the machines to do stuff, does the world need another stem? well, maybe it does if it does something different, right?
Right.
So I think that's kind of our MO. But like as Collin said, like there's a bunch of new merch on the site with different T-shirts, some different hats. So that's fun to do too.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then let's get in some of the events that we attended this year. Like, it's always awesome for us to go out and meet you guys face to face, and we've met a ton of you guys at Sea Otter, at Grands, at Frogtown, Dirty Fest. All those events that we've been to, the U.S. Open. It's so great to meet you guys face to face and to hear the stories and we have some kind of fun moments of our own, right?
Yeah.
No I think I'll just start it off, but on the event side for me, like one of the highlights of the year, excuse me, was like when we were riding back from Sea Otter with Win in the van, because he's always looking for a ride. Yeah. Just the cool stories and the story he had about the guy losing his wallet, finding that guy's wallet. It was so epic. Like the guy like had a bunch of cash in there, and really the guy was really bummed about losing his passport because I think he was from Taiwan and actually living in France. But anyway, Win reached out to this guy. He's just like, hey, I found this guy's wallet on his social media. One of his friends knew that guy, and he's like, hey, that guy's at Sea Otter. Like, and then within a couple of hours, the guy came over to met him at the booth, and now they're like good buddies. So just a fun Win story, like he's just such a, I kind of feel like he's Forrest Gump in a way. Like he's just all over the place meeting all these different people, and now he found this guy wallet. So anyway, fun story for me to just, Win's a great dude anyway, and just to hear his stories was great. But do you have a
Yusaku first, because I've been to some of these events, and I mean,
for me, I think Grants. I think it's not just a Grants event. I think just to get there too. I drove to Tulsa, Oklahoma, so that was great. Actually, we stopped
and we got to fly.
Yeah,
we went like this.
Yeah, so I drove with my son Yuhi. So we stopped at the in the Santa Fe area. We spent a day just riding around. That place was amazing, and it's just driving cross country. That was first time for us, so that was great. A good time with my son, and a lot of talking. So that was good.
Mm-hmm. And you got to meet all these people that we tell you every year. Like, there's so many people at the USA BMX Grands like that just are just like big fans of what we do.
Yeah,
and we come back and you're like, you guys are exaggerating. Yeah. And then he comes and like everybody's like, oh, you're the guy. Yeah. So that was a fun time for sure.
Yeah, that was my first BMX race So that was cool, and it just I met so many people, family, kids, parents. So that was just that was so cool to see that vibe.
Yeah. And Panda Express.
Yeah. 3 days ago.
The Waffle House.
Panda Express and Waffle House.
Whataburger too.
Yeah. That was rad.
Maybe a couple of stories from those events or an event or through anything through the year. And I can start it off for me. It was definitely at the U.S. Open. It's just so memorable. This guy came up and wanted to buy a service kit for the pedals. He's like, and he had a set of Ninjas from the year prior. Mm-hmm. And so I'm like, oh, you need a service kit? How old are your pedals? He's like, oh, I bought them last year, whatever. So I'm like, yeah, let me see. Let's look at your pedals. And I'm like, your pedals are fine. They don't need a service kit.
They were like brand new.
And he goes, okay, I'll just buy another set of pedals then.
That's right. Oh my God.
So I mean, it's so cool that just the experiences we have at these events and people talking about our product and how much they believe in it and what and the homework. I think I always tell people like, there's nothing on the pedal that's by accident, right? Everything's by design for a reason, right? So it's always fun to meet people and tell them in person, and maybe Yusaku's there and he gets to meet these people. So, we talk about it too as Yoshimura Cycling grows. It's going to be harder and harder to do that. But now, as we're still in this more small infancy stage, it's really fun to really connect with the consumer.
Yeah. But there's a lot of like foundational stuff, like. We were just talking last week in a little meeting get together. It's just like when you set all those good habits and that foundational stuff, it carries on to like the next employees, next people that are here, and then especially at events too. It's like when people see that, they're like, "Huh, I didn't know that still existed." And our response is always like, "That's the way it should be." You know, that's the way it should be. Like we stand behind what we make, and we love going out and seeing all you guys. US Open was super cool for me. Like I got to not coach, but be a judge for the whip off, which was rad.
Oh, that was cool.
Got a couple whip off wins under my belt, so it was cool that Clay run over and he's like, "Hey, I need you to help." I'm like, "Okay, yeah, all hands on deck." And then in the meantime, we have, I think YT kept running over and a bunch of other people and Intense, good friends with Intense, and then Red Bull's coming over like, "Hey, can we get you a cooler? Can we get you a Red Bull?" And of course we're just like, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just like being a part of it, being at those events is so rad. Just like the support, the people, like seeing everyone face to face, and then like the fan base is so rad just for cycling as a whole. So
yeah,
pretty cool.
Let's talk about athletes for 2023. Some of the stuff we've done. I guess we can talk about Win because we signed Win this year. He's kind of a very nomadic guy, right? Like he's all over the place, but it's rad that he's connected in with GT and he's got this pro privateer thing that he's doing. And for me, obviously, that's really, he's always about, one of the cool things that I think about Win, he's always remembers where he came from and like how hard it was to struggle as a privateer. So he came up with this privateer program. I'm like, hey, I want to be on board with that. So it's just like when we connected with Win, it was like, man, where have you been all of our life kind of thing. Like he just feels like he fits so good with our brand, and he's just anything we want to do, he's up for, right?
Yeah.
It was fun, we put him on dyno.
Yeah.
He made 2 horsepower. Yeah, on a dyno. Yeah, oh my goodness.
Good job.
Yeah. That was pretty cool.
Cool at
I mean, just to turn that drum thing is heavy,
It's
dude.
heavy, yep.
Oh, Win still has my pants too. I need those back.
Oh, from the US Open? I don't think you want those back.
No, you can keep them. You can keep them. Give them to someone. Privateer program.
Yeah.
That was another thing too at the US Open. We had that privateer giveaway thing, and the dude was about to leave in the crowd.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And we called him out. I think he was on his phone with his mom, Jack, right? And it was cool just to go up there and like stoke someone out. It almost feels like surreal, like wow, this kind of stuff still happens.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
It's so cool because that's what you dream about as a kid, and then now it's like tangible. Here it happened, and just like the support from everyone. It's like, yep, that's the guy who should have the bike. He sold it so he can come to U.S. Open. We're gonna send him off with all set up.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Anthony.
Mm-hmm.
Like, dude, he's becoming such a stable. Like, he's just a versatile
Yeah.
kind of Swiss Army knife, right?
Yeah.
BMX, mountain bike, jumping, like, does it all.
Oh my gosh.
That
so
guy's
great.
Fun
to ride with.
Yeah.
Fun to ride
He
with.
goes
yeah.
everywhere.
He does.
Yeah.
He travels the globe.
Yeah.
With our pedals.
Yeah.
And so does Christian Earhart.
Yeah.
Like, that
Christian,
guy's.
what the heck? Quad bar spin on a mountain bike?
Yeah.
Quad truck? You are insane. It was. Whoa. Anyway, that's gnarly. And he's trying like quad flips now too.
And we just met him at Sea Otter. He just comes up and he's like, dude, I heard all about these pedals. I want to try them. Right?
Yeah.
And now he's like, I can't use anything else.
Yeah.
Like, it's so cool.
And we're not just like, oh yeah, you have to sign this, you have to sign that. Oh, well, here's my email, get out to. It's so cool. Event stuff. It's just face-to-face athletes. It's so rad, that connection you can make. So.
And then, not last but least, but like Alec Bob. Wow. Dude, pump track UCI world champion.
Yeah.
Like on Chileo pedals. That's like, like we can say we have our first world championship on our pedals. Like, right? That's insane.
Yeah.
So Alec, I messaged you today for your address because I'm bad at losing stuff. We have a gift coming for you.
Are you
for
good
that.
at losing stuff?
Yeah. So yeah, Alec Bob, wow, dude. Just talk about a guy that's just disciplined on making stuff happen, you know? I'm bummed he didn't come to the Grands this year, but the airlines lost his bike coming back from because the pump track race was the couple days before.
Yeah, and Alex rad. You notice like a lot of pro athletes. I mean, now he's world champion. You see there's like an attitude carried with them, and it seems like these guys like Christian and Anthony and Win are they're like totally separate from that. You know, you can imagine like approaching someone with that reputation, but you would almost have no idea when just like hanging out with us at the booth.
Yeah.
Like it's just any other day.
Yeah, isn't it cool? Like
it's
the
so rad.
athletes that we are involved with our brand, we like a lot.
Yeah.
It's like we don't like
Yeah.
we really we're lucky we get to choose to work with these guys and even Little Sailor
Yeah.
from the Escondido area. Like she's just a bundle of energy and so good on video.
Yeah.
And she's just always down to help do whatever. Her
Yeah.
and her dad are just committed to the cause, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So cool.
And it was nice to see that they got home from the Grands okay.
Yeah. It was funny.
We saw Sailor's dad pulled over at the gas station, like right by our house. We're like, "Have you been following us for 2,000 miles?" And he was like, "Huh?"
John and I like walked past each other in the gas station and then stopped and turned around. He was like, "What the?" You know, we've been driving for whatever 20 hours or not 20 hours, probably
Somewhere around
15
there.
hours at that point. And it was just like, "What day is it? What are you doing here?"
Yeah.
Anyway, memorable moments.
Yep.
Moving on.
So let's talk about 2024. We're a couple of days away from that, and we've got exciting things coming in 2024. So, you want to hint at maybe some new stuff that's coming down the pipe?
Ooh.
I'm really sensitive to it, so maybe Yusaku does that.
Yeah, I'd say Yusaku does because I'm at his mercy. I'm gonna say too much.
I just don't want to go too far. you know?
Yeah.
Well, we got a new machine coming.
Yes.
So that's-
Oh, yeah.
So new machines, that's exciting. So, but there's a lot of work, ahead. But it's exciting. New machines. So we're gonna have more capacity. So we saw a lot of promising demand. So I think I decided to get a new machine for cycling. So that's gonna be good.
So that means if we're out of stuff, it won't be as long this time.
Yeah,
Or this,
hopefully.
hopefully, right? Unless that demand keeps cranking up like it has been, it's been exciting. So,
Yeah.
It's not here yet, but it's coming.
Yeah.
So that's exciting. I mean, it's a big commitment to lay down a couple of $100,000 for a machine. So I think that shows Yusaku's commitment to look at what the bicycle market is doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But once it gets going, I think we can take some videos maybe so we can
Yeah.
share.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this machine is, out of all the machines in the shop, which we have a lot, this one's dedicated just for bicycle stuff. So that's exciting for us. So, how about some new products, colors? Do we have something brewing there?
Yeah, we do. I still don't want to say too much. But
You can say what's maybe the month something's coming.
the month, let's see, April,
Springtime.
springtime. Yeah, springtime.
April Fool's Day. We
April
have
Fool's
something.
Day. Yeah. It's still not a joke. It'll be 4 years down the line, and we're still here. I just read all the comments on the Pink Bag page from when we launched in 2020. And everyone's like, "Oh, they did really good job. They made a site and everything," and I'm just laughing at it. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
and then
not
April
shit.
2nd came in like, "No, dude, it's real."
It's real.
Yeah. So
Anyway.
that's why we pick April 1st for some of the stuff, because it's Yoshimura Cycling's birthday. That's the
Yeah.
day we turned, April 1st, 2020, we turned the website on, and we just figured it'd be fun to launch a new product on April 1st. So be
Yeah.
on the lookout for that. It's going to be really exciting, and we'll have some stuff at Sea Otter.
Yeah.
So that'll be cool.
Yeah. In other words, what else? Well, there's other things as well. We're going from hand drawn to CAD to 3D prints to prototyping and stuff. But the answer to everyone's question is yes. Because I know all the question is the same. It's like, are you working on a clip pedal? Well, yeah.
Yeah, we have been
Yeah,
for about
we
a
have
year.
been for-
We're taking our time with it.
Yeah. Just like the flat pedal.
Yeah, we're taking our time with
Yeah.
it. There's no like designated like, hey, we have to have it out by this time.
Yeah.
But we really want it to be the top shelf pedal when it comes.
Yeah.
So
lot of-
Yusaku's a big fan of like, okay, test,
Yeah.
and then test some more,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
And then maybe when it's ready, we'll release it, right?
Yeah.
So,
But a lot of that goes into like exactly what we do here as a US based company, like and just having the customer contact from events and like Yusaku's commitment to getting another machine. It's like you got to remember there's a lot of things in motion. It's not just like what you were saying, Big E, like another Me Too product. Like a lot went into the flat pedal, and there's no reason to like, oh, new shapes, new designs. It's perfected in itself, and
Yeah.
going to the events and talking to the people and seeing the stoke on it, and then everyone's asking for something next. You know, there's a lot of, what I'm saying is there's a lot of factors that go into making something right before it comes out. You know,
a lot of components, a lot of testing.
Yeah. Same
Well,
thing with the flat pedal that took nearly 2 years.
2 years, yeah.
Yeah, 2 years on that one, and it's still just like a work of art, really, and it still turns heads. Still, people are like, "Those are the pedals we're after."
Yeah. So I just obviously it's at least another year out on the clip thing, but stay tuned to our social. We'll be leaking it when we're ready, but you want to definitely sign up for our newsletter. That's one of the things we'll be able to stay in touch with you, and those people that are in on that newsletter, we will. You guys will be the first to hear on anything, or the first to be able to buy something. We'll make sure that the diehard Yoshimura fans that are into our clip pedal are the first ones to get it. So.
Yeah. And another thing about the newsletter, just to be totally transparent, we always say we're bringing the value back to an email sign up. We're not just going to blast you and text you. Like it will.
Good point.
Every newsletter has purpose, and there's something in there to see. It's not just like, oh,
it's time to email somebody.
It's March once. We got to send one out. They're not at an exact time.
There's not a rhythm.
Yeah, exactly. So just keep that in mind. Like, I wouldn't want anything going to my inbox because I feel like I'm full time just unsubscribing stuff. So it's just bringing the value back. So
yeah. One last thing we're really looking forward to in 2024 is the BMX World Championships coming to Rock Hill, North Carolina. That's going to be a really fun event for us. Collin and I will be out there. Maybe Yusaku will come out too. So if you're in that area, if you're racing BMX, we will be there for sure. So let's get in. We've got a couple of questions. We get a lot of questions about why don't you guys make tie spindles?
Well, we don't want our spindles to break. We don't want a weight limit. And I don't know, Yusaku, I don't think titanium is the right material choice or option for a pedal spindle.
Yeah.
No,
it's really good material, but it's not just good for that,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, is it worth 20 grams for a catastrophic failure, right? That's you can pick and choose where you save weight.
Don't ask me. Ask
Well, no, I'm just saying, right? That's kind of our philosophy.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, we can't control. We can tell you there's a weight limit, but then we can't control who's on the pedal. And then when the pedal breaks, and they look at us and say, "Why did this break?" Well, maybe we shouldn't have made it, so that's why we don't.
Yeah.
Do you have any questions from these things?
Monica's monitoring that. So another one. How come it's so expensive to send your stuff overseas?
Oh.
Like overseas, I mean Europe mainly. Like Europe's a big, people want our stuff over there. I'm like, it's shipping so expensive.
Yeah, I answer those emails. I process the orders, and I try to be just as nice as I can. But I am not in control of the taxes and duties for your country. That's it. I mean, I sent an order out this morning for some pedals to Australia. It was $12.60. It was cheaper to send pedals to Australia than it was to San Diego. So we're not in control of shipping, taxes, duties. That's not in my hands. So I'm sorry, but that's that. But there is a lot of people that do put those orders in, and I was just like, you'd figure someone would reach out from France first and like, hey, I want to buy pedals. We'll just see orders come in Germany, and it's like $176 to get them there.
Yeah.
And it's like you will be getting a hat, a shirt. You'll be getting like a high
Colin's gonna
five in the
take care of
box.
you.
Yeah, we will take care of you. That's rad, and it means a lot to us too, especially.
But we get a lot of people that say, hey, why don't you get a distributor over here and the stuff will be cheaper? Well, the distributor still has to pay those duties and VATs too. So it's not the end answer. Anyway, don't want to beat that dead horse, but that's one of the reasons why it's so expensive is because of your countries. It could be England, it could be France, Germany.
Yeah.
Those countries have very high VATs and duties to come in because they're protecting their industry.
Yeah.
So, why are the pedals so expensive? Those people that don't know our product look at it and say, "Hey, why is these pedals $199?" Right?
Yeah.
But then there's people that go, "Hey, oh, I'd pay $199 again for this. And we have
Yeah.
a lot of people that are like, I have 4 or 5 sets. This is the
Yeah.
only thing I'm
I need a
use.
rebuild kit. I'll buy another set of pedals. Well,
But maybe
I'll
in
let-
a nutshell, like just
Yeah.
tell people.
I'll let Yusaku answer that one, but before he answers why they're so expensive, we're this is it right here, and we're in the place where the pedals are made, and the guy that designs them and the people that clear it's all here. So anyway,
I mean, you know, like BG said, you know, we just don't want to make Me Too stuff. You know, we couldn't make plastic cheap pedals, but you know, that's something, you know, we don't have to do that.
Or we
you know.
could use an extrusion.
Yeah.
It'd save time and money, but the pedal's not going to be as beautiful looking and maybe not as strong, right?
Right, and then you know, doesn't, you know, cannot have, you know, the shape we want it. So it you know, and it, you know, of course we're making this in Chino, California, so it's not coming from overseas.
right,
So,
right.
yeah,
And
there's a lot of
The
reasons.
quality control with
Yeah.
it too
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
I
Well,
would
there's
say
the quality
awesome.
control right there.
yeah, me measuring bearing spacers and sorting through stuff.
And who can ride bicycle? So he knows, you know.
Another question we get is like, chalao. What does that mean? Well,
chill out.
it's
my
not
back.
chalao. It's chaleo, right? And it's one of the first places we went when we were developing our pedal. It's up in the LA mountains. It's there's a campground there called Chaleo. So we kind of called it the Chaleo Trail. And it's one of the trails that we hit a lot when we were going testing spindle strength and all those things. So the name is right after the trail. We just pretty much just hammered the pedals on a lot. So we just named it after the place we visited a lot with them.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it seemed right. So
yeah.
even while we were there, nobody caught
What
on
does
to
it
so.
mean in Spanish? Or we think.
Well,
We believe.
there's a lot of
Yeah.
speculation, but we've heard that the name came from the banditos that would hide out in the forest up there in the late 1800s, and somebody we were talking to said that actually that name means badass in Spanish.
Old
So,
Spanish.
Yeah, Old Spanish. I
Yeah.
guess a lot of the newer Spanish, it's kind of an older terminology, but anyway,
If it's the
we
name
just
of
thought
the
it was
pedal
like,
as
hey,
well.
that kind of fits too.
Yeah,
So-
yeah.
So that's where Chaleo came from. And then maybe talk about the servicing of the pedals. A lot of people like, hey, do you have service kits? Can these pedals be serviced?
Oh yeah. As far as service goes, like if we have some how-to videos, and that was a thing. Like, of course, if I'm building all the pedals and he's designing them, and we're backing everything up, it should absolutely be transparent. Like, I don't think we should just pull somebody from the back to show you guys how to rebuild the pedals, but use like a well-used pedal in a real-world environment, not just take a brand new pedal out of the box and like show you how to put new parts in it. There is like random hurdles sometimes where it's like, hey, I can't get spindles in or whatever, and I've never missed a phone call of one of those or an email, or had like a bad thumbs down scenario. So if something happens as far as rebuilding pedals, like you call and we answer, or you email and even if you're in a different time zone and it's 8 o'clock for me, I can just message you back. All the emails go to my phone at the same time. But servicing is
your
pretty
phone's blowing up now, buddy.
right? Servicing's pretty straightforward. You know, it might be like a tiny bit more complicated than your standard pedal, but it's like that comes with the price of the durability and I don't even want to say like warranty, because if like something happens, we're covering it either way. So
Yeah, a lot of people.
But-
That's a good point you made,
Yeah.
because a lot of people go, hey, how come your pedals are a 1-year warranty? Well, we kind of carried that over from a lot of our motorcycle stuff. If there's ever something wrong with your pedal, we're going to take care of it. If it's a manufacturing issue, or we're just going to take care of it. We realize that you guys are paying a lot of money for a pedal, and we want you to have a good experience. So
yeah,
don't let the 1-year warranty scare you. So
yeah.
oh, a couple more questions just in. Are you going to make MT handlebars in the future?
That's a good
Well,
idea.
the guy that decides.
We are thinking about it.
Mhm.
I just cannot tell when. But yeah, it's on the list.
Yeah, I'd say really our focus is really on our next product, which is that clip pedal.
Yep.
And we want to get that right. So kind of like In and Out, we want to stay focused and make the best hamburger.
Yeah.
That's what we want to do.
Yep. And then be around for a long time. So.
Oh, at Joe Carlino says, tell us about machining process of stems and pedals, duration, tooling, etc. Good point, because when one of our products is on the machine, it's not like a 10-minute process, right?
No,
Yeah.
it takes about, I don't know if you want to share the number, but it takes a lot of time to make a set. We can put, I think 4 sets each time, and then we can go lunch,
Yeah, yeah.
before it finished. So
Mhm.
yeah, and
And
then
that's
just
just the
multiple
machining.
processes. So
Yeah, that's just the machining. Then there's anodizing, laser etching. There's
heat treat for
Heat-
spindles. Yeah,
the spindles have 4 processes they're going through: heat
Yeah.
treats, turning, Cerakote.
and
Yeah.
then post heat treat machining as well. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a lot. It's funny when actually when people come to the shop here, we kind of take them through the process and show them everything that's going on. And one of the things like they say is, oh, I get it. There's a lot that goes into making a pedal. And then I always tell them, making a pedal right.
yeah,
Like you can make a pedal a lot cheaper and make it kind of copy, right?
yeah,
So,
easily.
Yeah.
They also, I think, kind of connected the question, why it's so expensive. It just takes time. He's asking about tooling, right?
Yeah.
It requires many tooling. Different the drill size, the end mills. We couldn't make the pedals, the half-inch end mill and it do everything. No, we cannot do that. So it just takes time and it takes tools. So that's why
Yeah, and I really like what Collin came up with last year at Sea Otter. We were talking to the guys at Cane Creek.
Yeah,
And because we're big fans of the Cane Creek E-Wings cranks.
mine are almost 5 years old, halfway through their warranty.
Yeah,
I just got one.
somebody came up and said, "Oh, these cranks are expensive," and Collin said, "These are the cheapest cranks you're gonna buy."
They're the cheapest cranks you'll ever buy, and the guy he's like, what? What do you mean? I'm like, yeah, they are the cheapest. E-Wings are the cheapest cranks you will ever buy, and he's like, what do you mean? I'm like, yeah, because you never have to buy cranks again. Exactly.
And the light bulb went
It's
on,
a
right?
Toyota Tundra. of
And the Cane
cranks.
Creek guy's like, "Can we use that?"
I'm like, absolutely.
So that's kind of the way I think about our pedal, though. Like
Yeah.
people say, "Oh, your pedals are expensive," and I'm like, "These are probably replace pins once in a while,
Yeah.
right? But
Yeah.
the last pedals you're probably going to need."
Yeah, and
So.
we can. I think Yusaku can absolutely vouch for that at Grants. We kind of skipped over the Grand stories, but seeing that, like, that was our 4th year at Grants, and seeing like the Yoshimura fan base and all those like old pedals still in cycle. I
Nothing
think
wrong with them.
Nothing wrong with them. And not even the color worn off of them. It's like, hey, let's get some new pins in there for you. I'm sure that was pretty rad for Yusaku to see. So
that was cool.
Last question. So here we're going to wrap this up. Last question: where are the jumpsuits?
I told you need to wear that.
I was going to wear it, but I felt like it would be a detraction from what we're trying to do here. So the jumpsuits are here. They are ready to go. Monica back there in the background needs to take some pictures. We're going to get them up on the website. If you want some, get them because we didn't order a ton of them. So, but on that point, understand that these things fit baggy. That's the way you want them. You definitely don't want the tight crotch action happening when you bend over. So order them big. They're ordered on chest size. So
Are you gonna be the model for the photo?
no, sir. That
Oh, look, we
would
have
be
one.
him. He's the model.
oh, we have one.
Oh, look at this. We have one right here. Monica's taking pictures.
Oh,
today,
this
so.
is not the one that I raced at USAB Mexico.
No, that
was a funny story from Grants.
That one stinks.
Yeah. I gotta save that one. Sorry, bro. I know you wanted to buy it, but
Yeah.
I'm holding on to that one.
So these will be in stock probably within a day or two. I'm gonna say before Christmas.
Yeah.
So and our last day of shipping is 2:00 on Thursday. Well, today's.
I said Wednesday just to call it safe.
That's 2 day. If you want it next day, we can still do it. So
Oh, yeah.
let's say 2:00 Wednesday, 2 day,
Yeah.
and that's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for joining us and listening to us blow hard here.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we definitely appreciate all the Yoshimura fans out there. It's so huge. Again, when we go and we meet all you guys, and it's just rad that you guys. There's so many people appreciating what we're doing out there, and it never ever gets old for us. We love to hear all the feedback. So keep those DMs coming. Thanks for commenting and being on Facebook and being fans of us. We want to do more stuff on YouTube, so keep your eyes peeled on that too. And just 2024 is coming, so be on the lookout for that new product that we're rolling out April 1st.
Sweet.
All right. We'll see you guys.
Radical.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
And a Happy New Year.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, how do you shut it off?
Last Christmas.
Last Christmas. I don't know how to. Oh, there we go. Yay.